Good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing? Florida's own Barry S. McLeod. Welcome to another week of conversations with a masterful raconteur. Last week, I apologize. I missed y'all last week and just had a lot going on. That's why I always say some weeks I may not be able to make it. And I really, really, really appreciate those of you who inbox me and let me know that you look forward to the lives each week and you enjoy them. Thank you so very much. Today I wanted to share with you all. I don't know if you can see that. This is a play I did called Men or Pause, and I thought I'd share this with you all today. Um, this is a CD cover here, and this play is this was this was the show that I did, um my make or break show right here. This show, wow, what can I tell you, man? It's a lot of stuff I can share with you about this show. So I'm going to try to condense it as much as I possibly can. I call this show my OJL, my on the job lesson, because I learned so much from producing this show. Before I jump in, I just want to thank you all again for touching in with me this week as we're getting ready for the holiday right around the corner. And I like to remind you that you can visit me at barrysmcleod.com. You can also check out my streaming platform, bbingin.com, and that's bbingn.com. bbingn.com. So, the name of my company, my production company, is The Right Side of Me Productions. A lot of you already know that, but I produced this show. I think it was in 2007. I have actually lost track. Want to send a shout out there to the hottest DJ in the land, DJ Lil Rock Edie. What's up, player? Good to see you, man. Where your part at? It's coming. It's coming. Y'all know right now I'm producing a series of short films. It's like 3 episodes called She the Player. She the Player is about this one diva versus 3 sugar daddies. Go figure. Okay. We got some good stuff coming up in that, and it's just going to be hilarious. We've got 2 episodes already down, wrapped up, and we're going to be finishing up the third and final episode. This hopefully we can get it done before Christmas, and we can drop um, uh, come New Year's, the week of New Year's, hopefully, or maybe the week after. It depends on production, post production. So anyway, I know you can act. You acting right now. That's my dog right there, y'all. Anyway, menopause. Menopause really, it started with this whole the menopause concept started with me writing a letter to my daughter. At the time, my daughter was just 4 years old. She's 26 now, I think, and so she was only 4 years old, and I was going through something I was going through, and um, I wanted to write a letter to my daughter in case when she became an adult or a teenager, I was not around because life tomorrow ain't promising nobody. So I wrote her this letter, and I was just giving her some game on how game is with dating and men and da 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 da. A lot of us men, we can dish it out, but we can't take it. When it comes to our baby girl, that's a whole nother ball game. Come down to somebody else's baby girl, ain't that right, Lil Rock? Come down to somebody else's baby girl, we're not so concerned. But when it comes down to our own daughters, man, that's a whole nother ball game. So nothing new under the sun when it comes to that. But anyway, I wrote her this letter, and I gave it to her, and I explained to her. I said, "Baby, right now you're too young to comprehend what I'm really trying to accomplish with you right here. But I want you to know that when you get grown, actually, I had written the book Menopause, and because that letter turned into a book, and so I gave her a copy of the book. I hope she still got it. And I said, when you get to the point where you're dating, read this book and see what Daddy is talking about. You know, I believe you will. If you trust me enough, you're gonna appreciate some of the things that I share. So I wrote the book Menopause, and in my creative process, I looked at it as a much more broader scope of things that anybody anywhere on the planet Earth could read and enjoy. Well, that book, it's not menopause as what women go through. It's men or pause. I just played off the term menopause. So the book Menopause, which is available at barrysmccloud.com if you want to read it. Um, it turned into a stage play. And like I said, this was the make or break stage play for me right here. This one. When I did this play, I never been rich or wealthy, but I had a few dollars stashed away. And I strategized, man. I mean, like I put the best brain work and strategy that I was capable of doing at that particular time into that whole production. I cast some actors. I cast 4 actors who had been um, in bigger productions and, you know, national touring productions. They were not celebrity names like household name people, but they were on the stage with various celebrities. And I couldn't afford celebrities at that time, but I invested uh, quite extensively for what I was capable of doing into that particular production at that time. And I brought in this guy from Charlotte. I brought in 2 brothers from Atlanta, and I had a local who was in the circle with them. One of the guys, and these guys, and I'm gonna tell you, all of them could sing. I didn't get the complete video out of it that I strived to get at that particular time, because I brought in some very professional video people. And I mean, them boys came in with a crew of them, man. It was like a good 8 of them came in, man. And I had multiple cameras, and I had everybody mic'd up and everything, man. And they charged me for that, you know, significantly. But I was after something, and I chose to afford it. So I bring in these people. I get these actors. I had to accommodate all the arrangements for them to be here, and so, you know, the money. I was trying to figure out another way to say it, but the money, man, it was stacking up, and I was willing to take the gamble. One of the guys that sings, he was a background singer for Byron Cage, um, and big name in gospel. And I'm gonna tell you, this brother can blow. If y'all want to hear some good singing, y'all should see this play. The other guy, he's a very good singer. Um, he was involved. He was affiliated. He was a director for Marvin Webster of Marvelous Entertainment, and he was my go-to guy, mainly because I was trying to strategize to reach Marvin Webster. I wanted to um, I wanted to see if Marvin could uh, reproduce the menopause and do with it what I could not do, and we could just simply do some business on it. So I wanted to demonstrate the potential of the play. So I got some local actors. I remember one day, God rest his soul, it was this elderly man. I naturally won't mention his name, but I was in the grocery store one day, and I just happened to be going down an aisle, and this man was somebody that in the theatrical world in Gainesville, many of us that knew him, we were fond of him. Um, but I walked up, and he was talking to somebody else, and they didn't see me, and I heard him saying to this other person, he was throwing me all the way up under the bus. He was saying, yeah, he goes and he gets these actors who are not from here, and all of this local talent around here. He's not even doing anything for his own local people. And I'm like, I had 4 actors who were not from Gainesville, and everybody else was from Gainesville. And I had like a dozen people on the stage. Okay. So as is like I said, this was my OJL on the job learning experience. And there was so many different things that I learned out of doing that production. Uh, and in this particular case, I'm learning how local people are throwing me under the bus, saying things that are not true and spreading the wrong kind of lies and gossip on me. Yeah, oh, well, whatever. I didn't care. This particular guy, I guess with him, I admired him. And even though we were not really close or anything, he was somebody that I wanted to work with. And when I walk up and heard him throwing me under the bus, well, I guess it goes without saying that got that little bit. So we never worked together. But I've always supported local people wherever I was living at the time. And so anyway, I cast these actors. Now I got a respectable budget for this production, but I don't have all the money that I wish I had. And looking back, I'm kind of glad I didn't. And you know when you hear the end of the story, but I didn't have the plush set like what you see with a Tyler Perry show or Marvelous Entertainment show, I'm Ready Productions. I didn't have that really plush set, but I had a respectable set. And by the way, another local person, I let this guy who was local, who was a carpenter, build the set. Okay. So for those who want to say, well, he don't support his local people, that's just a lie, just a bald-faced lie. And but I had everybody else was local in that production except for the 4 people who I brought in from out of town. So I did a lot of marketing promotion. I did television, radio. Send another shout out there to William Johnson, Boogie Love, who's still in the radio business radio station owner, 92.1 FM right now in Gainesville. Matter of fact, DJ Lil Rock is one of his main DJs on the radio station currently. And but he was there for me because me and him went all the way back to the 80s. So I did a lot with marketing and promotions and investing into the show. So we get here, we get to the rehearsals, and the first thing that pissed me off was these professionals who I brought in from out of town. They didn't show any real appreciation like I felt they should have. They treated me as if, okay, well, here's this guy down here in Gainesville, and he wants to cast us, and it was a networking thing how it went down. So yeah, let's go down there and make this money. Now they had the script like 8 weeks in advance. They get down here, they don't even know what's going on with the story. They just took the scripts, scanned over it, didn't read it, so they didn't even have a clue what was really going on with the story. And that pissed me off because I'm thinking, man, y'all done had the script all of this time. When you get here, you're naturally going to be ready. And so they were not ready. So here we are. I get them here like 5 days before the show. And so now everybody's trying to cram in and learn their material and collaborate with the local actors. And so uh, I had no other choice but to go with it because I've already invested in to this point. And so there's no such thing as canceling the show. So we're making it happen. You know, I will say that when they got here, they did buckle down. But the thing, one of the other lessons that I learned is how some of these actors, even some of your high-end actors, they don't want to learn material. They want to skate through it. And here I am, you know, I'm this beast that I write my stuff and I have this vision for it. And I ain't with this skating through my stuff. You know, you want to take all of this content and throw it away because you were too lazy to learn your material. I had a big problem with that. In addition to that, I had scored my own music for the production. So I had everything recorded out and put on tracks. And, but I intended to have a live band. So, but I had everything ready for everybody when they got here. So now the guy who's affiliated with Marvin Webster, he gets here and I'm entrusting him to get with the actress that's working, that's in the scene with him. And they learn their scene and their music because now, like I said, by them coming unprepared, I'm all over the place now, scrambling, trying to pull all the pieces together in 4 days actually. So, so what he did that I wasn't aware that he did until the night before when we did our dress rehearsal, he changes my song. So we're in the dress rehearsal the night before the show, and they start doing this song. I'm not familiar with the song at all. So I said, well, hold it, cut, stop right here. What is that? That is not what I wrote. Well, this brother, like I say, he did to them. I was nobody. They knew name people and stuff, been around name people and stuff. But I'm supposed to be, I guess, like this little some little guy down here in Florida. They don't know nothing about it. Let's just go down and get this money. And they found out that no, I don't rock like that, man. I'm paying you. You're supposed to have your stuff together, and you're supposed to do what we contracted for you to do. And so when I stop him, I stop the song and I say, hey, look, that's not how the song go. What's going on? This dude he tries me, right? He gets he gets loud with me in front of my cast. And you know, I'm like, whoa. Well, you know, I stood my ground. And so, you know, I guess that shocked him. I guess he thought that he was just going to walk all over me. And when he realized that, no, that was not going to happen, now he going to beat me getting mad. Okay. So that's how that went. After the rehearsal that night, I pulled him to the side. And yeah, you know, I don't try to be no gangster, no thug, or nothing like that because that's not what I am. But I pulled him to the side and I was like, hey, man, what's the problem, man? Now, away from everybody else, he wanted to talk to me like with some respect. But in front of everybody, he tried to showboat on me and tried to treat me like he was above me. And I am the director and I'm the one that's hiring him. So, yeah, we went ahead and we squashed that. Now, the other problem that came, another on-the-job lesson, I bring a band in, and the band does the same thing. the director of the band, when I communicated with him, he told me, man, look, oh man, we can handle this, because I had all the thing tracked out on a CD and gave it to him. Yeah, man, we can handle that. That's easy. So they were lazy and did not learn the material and put the songs together. Now, when we get ready to do the show, here they come with some stuff that it was just obvious they didn't even know what to do. And in my whole strategizing, I'm trying to make sure, because I remember I'm videoing this professionally. So I want my work as a songwriter to be reflected in the video, as well as my playwright talent, as well as my directing, as well as my producing. This is everything that I am trying to capture for this particular production. And so whenever I present it to some other company that would be willing to sit down at the table with me, they will be able to see that I am the total package, and I'm capable of doing these different things. Because you see, I had worked in advance. I had been working on the show like for several months before I even cast everybody. So I was way ahead of the game, as I try to always do. And so now they done botched that part. Okay. And so the major thing that went wrong was we didn't sell the tickets that we strive to sell. And so, man, I done made this significant investment for a guy like me with what I had to work with, which was quite respectable. I got to deal with these actors who want to treat me like they're above me, but they're in my production working for me. And now the band is they done jacked up all the music, and they on the stage now just trying to get through it. You know, they're just doing whatever. And they were all talented musicians. Now, I don't sell enough tickets to pay for all of this. So can you imagine being in that position? Think about it. Just imagine being in that position. All of this money you done invested, you done saved up, and you've invested, and you done put a strategy together, and now it's all just crumbling right in the palms of your hand. One of the good things that did happen with the cocky actor was his friends, who were the other actors out of Atlanta and Charlotte. They went to him. They did go to him after that rehearsal, and they told us, "Man, you was wrong for that." So the good thing that did come out of that was he did have somewhat of a conscience, and he did get Marvin Webster on the phone, and I had a conversation with Marvin Webster. Marvin Webster wanted to see the video so that he could determine if he liked it. I learned so much from that particular show. I entrusted these guys that were videoing it to edit it, and they did a extremely poor job editing the show. And what had actually happened was, when these guys got on the stage, I'm talking about these professional actors who've done national tours. When the show first started, it was dry because they did not remember their lines, and they were sitting up there reaching for straws, waiting for somebody else to say their line to try to figure out what they were going to do next. I give it to them. They made up for it with their singing, because once we got through the first 10, 15 minutes, because it was a 2-act production, once we got through that first 10, 15 minutes, they began to improvise, and they started just doing stuff that some of it was scripted and some of it was not scripted. So here I am. I'm stuck with that. I don't have no other choice but to hope for the best with this. as careful as I planned everything, now I got to deal with what they're giving me. So, um, like people do when they when they done jerked you around with doing the job, after the job, now they standing right there saying, "Where's my money?" And I'm pissed off. I done lost all of this money because I didn't do well with my ticket sales, and and I was internally, I was crushed. I was really crushed because I expected a good turnout, and we did two shows in one day. We did a matinee and an evening show, and I just knew that my matinee would have paid for the show, and then the evening show I would have gained. But man, I failed, and I failed hard. Then there were certain actors, local, who come to me now. They're watching me go through this situation, and they would come up to me and want to borrow money. And one or two of them, I loaned them some money under those circumstances. Still ain't got my money back. And some of the other ones, they were like, "Where's my money?" And I literally had to tell some people, look, I don't have enough to pay you now. Give me a few days, I'll get your money. And I did. And I busted my behind, man, in a few days and got them their money. But it showed me how certain people, well, they placed me on this pedestal, and they all so excited to be in my production. But when I fell on my behind, they had no mercy for me. There's one guy, excuse me, and I will call his name. His name was Rudolph Porter. He's a very talented singer, really cool guy. When I first got out of the military in 1979 and got in a band, came back to Gainesville, got into a band, he was our lead singer. He really graced me. He told me, he said, "Man, don't even worry about paying me." And I really appreciated that because I was broke. I didn't even have money to loan to those folks, but I did. And so I just kind of threw my hands up. I said, "Man, I done tore my behind. I got to figure out, how do I recover from this? What do I do now? How do I go forward?" But watching people, especially certain ones who, as months would go by, the way they treated me at that time would turn around and want to be in my production in the future, because see, I'm like that Energizer Bunny, Jack. I fell on my behind. I fell really hard, and I wasn't sure how I was going to recover from that, and it took me some time, but I never quit. See, I never quit. That's why here today, um, I'm doing the things that I'm doing now because I just didn't quit. So, uh, uh, I learned a whole lot from that particular production that made me better. You know, if you can get through a tough time, a war, a critical situation, whatever, the worst chaos that you could ever imagine going through, if you can get through it, if you're not a quitter, you're gonna be better. And I was better. Uh, I went to the guys who edited the video, um, and I had a conversation with them, and that was more tension. I think the thing that hurt me the most was I had strategized towards Marvin Webster, and so when he got the video, most people, like your top producers and directors and stuff, if you present a script or something to them, man, if you don't capture their uh, attention, like in the first 3 to 5 minutes, man, they don't have time to sit down and finish watching your stuff. So That did not work out. So man, that was just a tough time. Men or pause, man. This production right here, woo, that's the one that kicked my butt. I didn't know after I did that, I wasn't sure how or when I was going to do another show, and like I said, it took me some time to get back in the saddle and figure that out because I didn't go gangster. I didn't go gangster and tell all the people who I owed them money, well, that's just too bad. Do whatever you're going to do. I literally went back to work. I was already working. I didn't go back to work. I continued to work. I worked overtime and I made the money and I paid people back a little bit here, a little bit there. But I look back at some of these people today, and certain ones, they 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 didn't have much of a heart for me at that time. I'm talking about people that were actually in the production. They didn't have much of a heart for me at that time. And I look at them now and they feel like I owe it to them that they be in the work that I'm doing now. And I just kind of think to myself, man, what can I learn from this? Can learn so much about people. And most of this kind of stuff is just like stuff we talk about all the time. So it's nothing new. But dealing with it is what it is. Dealing with what it is. When you're dealing with people and you experience stuff with them that it's stuff that you know about, you've heard other people talk about it and they went through it. Yeah, it's nothing new. But dealing with it in those moments, that's what it really is. How do you deal with all of that? So Menopause is one of my favorite shows. When I look back now, I look at some of the singing, and man, there's some awesome singers in there. That's the one show that I have um, that I can say that I had some of the best singers. I mean, all of those singers in there, man, they could go. They they gave me that much. They they jacked up the story and told it in a roundabout way, but the audience obviously did not know, and so it it, it uh it uh it put a major damper on what my vision for all of that work was and what my plans and stuff was, but I still was able to get some good out of it, and so I guess the moral of this live here today is just to remind somebody that you know it's always about in the moment how you handle yourself in the moment, and sometimes it's actually a good thing, even though it may not feel good, but it's actually a good thing to get your behind whooped. Because for one thing, for me, I learned that I don't want that to happen no more. And I started having, thinking about what I can do to make sure that that don't happen no more. And then I learned a lot about myself in terms of how resilient I was and how dedicated and how passionate I really was and how tenacious I really was. And so in the end, you laugh at it and you're proud of it. And and I don't know how many shows I've done since that time. And that was the one show that I didn't know how I was going to recover from it. So I don't even know how many shows I've done since that time. So the good master above, the creator, he has truly, truly blessed me. So when people see me now and they see my work now, uh, there was a process to me getting to the point of where I am now. There was a process, but I meant what I was doing then, and I mean it now. And this old boy is going to keep on going. Sometimes now I tend to look in the mirror and I see all of this, and I have there, and I see my face, some wrinkles and stuff like this, some weight, some back issues sometimes be bothering me, man. But you know what? That Energizer Bunny just keeps on going so long as there is breath in this body and my health is fine enough, I will be writing and producing plays. When I get done, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks with wrapping up episode 3 with Sheeta Player, I will, I will, I've already begun the process of writing for the full feature movie. And so I'm going to get that done. Then I got something political that I want to do. That's going to be deep. I don't know that anybody will have written what I'm going to write. So I'm going to be coming out of I'm going to be going from comedy to something that is a lot more heavy. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And like I said, I'm very, very grateful that I'm still in the position of doing what I'm doing, and I'm having a great time doing it. So what I'm going to do with Sheeta Player, these 3 episodes, it's going to be on Be Binging, but it's going to be right there on the homepage, and it will be free to watch. And I'm just going to hope that you all like it, and we're going to see what happens from there. And whenever I do the full feature movie, I'm going to take all the feedback, all the criticism, all the good, the bad, the ugly remarks, and I'm going to formulate a full movie that I think is going to just be so over the top funny, so memorable, and just something that is hopefully my vision for it is to turn into a classic. So that's my goal for Sheeta Player. And y'all just stay tuned. Somewhere around January, the early part of January, we should be dropping those 3 episodes, and I can't wait for you all to see it. Chew me up, spit me out, and let me learn from that just as well. It's all OJL, on the job learning. I want to send a shout out there to Jimmy Pace, who's chiming in. Happy belated birthday to you, Jimmy. Hope you had a good birthday. That brother right there, you have to know him. He went with me up to Augusta, Georgia, at Fort Discovery before they closed it down. And man, when I tell you that brother can sing and he brought the house down, that brother brought chills and everybody. I don't forget stuff, Jimmy. I appreciate it, man. We had a fun time. I want to send a shout out there to my old classmate and my high school sweetheart. We still friends, I think. Miss Lewis. My going gangster buddy Aubrey Thomas is touching in with me this evening, man. Good to see you, man. How you doing? I hope everybody doing all right. Say hello to everybody. Uh, my dear friend, I'll be seeing her, I think, next week. Rose, thanks for touching in with me. Joanne, good to see you. Good to see you, Carmen. Good to see you. Chris Crunk, Boy Films Bright, man. Thanks for touching in with me. Willie McCoy, I appreciate you. Monique, how you doing, sweetheart? Definitely appreciate y'all touching in with me this evening. I try to do this every week, and I think next week, if everything goes well, I'm gonna do some Santa Claus stuff, and I'm gonna give away something to somebody in some kind of way. I'll figure it out. Being this is the holiday season, and we always got to figure out how to give back, y'all, to somebody. Somebody got less than what we got. So anyway, this is this week's Conversations with a Masterful Raconteur. If you want to fact check me, go to barrysmccloud.com. If you want to see any of my work, go to bbingin.com. That's bbingn.com. And support me with just $2.99. And you can watch all of my stuff for 30 days, 24/7. Okay? And I very much appreciate it. And if you want to give me a Christmas gift, give it to me like that. I'd appreciate it. So y'all have a good evening. Hope you I'm not scripted. Everything is just right off the cuff. So I might have said some things in a good way and some things in a broken up into pieces kind of a way. That's just how it comes out. Anyway, thanks again for supporting me, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Florida's own Barry S. McLeod, truly the right kind of different.